Hello, everybody, and welcome to That's Never Happened Before, right here on the Games Done Quick Hotfix. It's the show where we break down glitches in some of your favorite games piece by piece so that we can really see how these tricks are accomplished. My name is Smooth Operative. I'm filling in for Kungfufruitcup as your host this evening. Thanks for having me. And in this episode, Ice Blue will be showing off a true speedrun technique in the Nintendo Switch remake of The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening. But before we slow it down and get into the game, let's get into some announcements. First of all, AGDQ 2023 online will be January 8th through the 15th. Submissions are now closed, but you can stay tuned for the final schedule as that information will be posted on our website, www.gamesdonequick.com. That being said, submissions for Frost Fatales open today and will remain open until November 26th. So you can find all the information again at our website, gamesdonequick.com/framefatales, or check out the GDQ Twitter and submit your games and volunteer applications. And if you'd like to follow all things GDQ, feel free to use the command !links in our Twitch chat for access. Now then, we have a little game going. Can you spot the link? It looks like Ice Blue is all set up. So why don't I introduce him to you? Ice Blue, welcome to the show.
Hi.
Hi. And we have TGH here as well.
Hey, what's going on?
Awesome. So this is a remake of The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening for Game Boy, I think. Is that correct?
Yeah. This is from the original Game Boy, which also got a remake to add color to the Game Boy Color game and an extra bonus dungeon.
Oh, awesome. Well, how about before I get into some questions, why don't you both introduce yourself for our viewers who may not know you?
So I'm Ice Blue. I am a retro Zelda speedrunner who also dabbles in this game as well. I've done Zelda 1, Zelda 2, Link to the Past. I've done LADX, which is Link's Awakening DX. And I've done this game. I play a lot of the randomizers as well. That's what you'll mostly find me playing on my channel. And I have my good friend here, TGH, who I met actually through this game. We kind of just became like really good friends just by learning all this stuff with this game.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm also a classic Zelda runner and just Zelda runner in general. Hello, lots of 2D Zelda. The original Link's Awakening, or rather Link's Awakening DX, I think was the first game I ever actually truly loved as a kid, and it was also one of my first speedruns as well. So I knew this was one of the first games. Actually, this is probably the only game I've ever known I was going to speedrun before it even came out in 2019. So I love Link's Awakening, and here to commentate and also give moral support. So
awesome.
Yeah, it was like the same for me when the game first came out. I was just kind of like, you know what, I'm gonna run this game. Never even saw how the game was actually being played. I was just like, nope, I'm gonna learn this.
Yeah, I was going to ask if the original Link's Awakening had any impact on your decision to speedrun this remake, but it seems like the answer is a resounding yes.
Oh yeah, for sure.
What are some of your first memories of playing Link's Awakening, or even just a Zelda game? Because it sounds like the two of you are really big fans of the series.
The game itself is just, it plays very well. When you're not breaking it in half and cheating all over the place, but it plays really well. And it has an outstanding soundtrack, and that's for me, my favorite character out of the entire series is Marin. She's actually my mascot for my channel. And it's
Aww.
it left a nice little place in my heart. I just love this game.
Aw, well, I'm super glad that both of you are here, and Ice, I'm super excited to see you show off some of these awesome glitches in the game. So honestly, whenever you're ready to jump into it, I'm ready to check it out.
Yep. Teacher,
y'all are in for a ride. You may have noticed that Link is not supposed to be up where he was before.
Wait, what do you mean?
There's gonna be a lot of that showcase.
What do you
I'm ready
mean?
to learn.
there was a staircase that led to that dungeon wall. I don't know what you're talking about.
Staircase, sure. That's what you call it, I guess.
Okay, so to get things started, this is pretty much a preset file. So what we do is we start this run by, it's basically an RNG manipulation, and it allows us to know exactly what the egg path at the final part of the game is going to be. And we've gone through so many different like egg paths to find the fastest route. And this seed, RNG seed that we're on, our egg path is going to be right up, left up, 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 which is probably the simplest egg path you'll probably ever find. So, and we're able to just kind of save the game like right when we start, in order to just kind of like keep that egg path permanently for our runs. So I'll go ahead and get things started here. If y'all are ready, I'm ready.
I'm ready. I can't wait to see it.
Okay, let's go ahead and get this thing started. So right here in the beginning of the game, it's mostly just like optimized movement. And typically we don't play this game in English. Our fastest text in this game is in German. And reason being is the text boxes are instant in this game. So German actually produces the least amount of text boxes. So it makes the run just faster. I think it's how many total text boxes is German faster?
I don't know, but I know that the most significant time save from German actually comes from the text you get at the end of dungeons. There's usually a single splash screen in German that takes like, I don't know, like 5 or 6 seconds to go away. But in English, you get 2 of those, and that's why German is faster, because just it saves like 5 or 6 seconds at the end of every single dungeon. So it really adds up.
Yeah.
And there are 8 dungeons in the game.
Okay, that answered my question.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the sake of the run, we're gonna keep it in English, just so we can read some of the funny dialogue. We won't get to see the great dialogue of D4, Dungeon 4's boss in German, but if you watch this run for AGDQ 2020, pretty much our entire couch was the anglerfish.
Shoutouts to Futter.
So all right, I kind of like didn't explain. So at the very beginning of this run, there's not really too much like going on except for just like optimized movements. When we pick up the sword, the moment Link spin slashes, like when he picks up the sword, we do a shield animation to kind of cancel the spin slash and him holding the sword upwards. It saves about a second, just for like optimized movement. But we're going to walk through here. We need to come through here and pick up a couple of items out of the forests in order to enter the first dungeon of the game. Okay.
Thanks, Moblin.
It's fine. So, I mean, you want to go over a little bit like about the beginning part of this, Teach?
Yeah, sure. So we're in the forest. We're in this cave to come over and get this mushroom that's over here, and we're gonna bring the mushroom over to the witch that's over like east of the forest in order to get an item called the magic powder, which really doesn't serve much of a purpose except for 2 things. One is sprinkling. We sprinkle this powder on Terran, who has transformed into a raccoon for some reason.
He tells you the reason.
Oh, I guess.
He was eating forest mushrooms.
Okay, that's true, yeah. Yeah, this, spoilers, by the way, this whole game is a dream, so none of it really makes that much sense. But yeah, so, and also the other use for the powder that we have is entering Dungeon 2 in the first place. But it does have some more practical uses for the speedrun itself, like powdering some enemies. Actually, that's more a glitchless thing, never mind.
No, we powder a couple of enemies just because instead of 2 sword slashes.
Yeah, true. But here we are talking to the witch. And the witch is going to give us some powder. And I think she says something to the effect of, like, go ahead and try it in my hut on that empty torch. And we just say, nah, never mind. No, we got places to be.
Nah, man.
So special effects there. gives them the eyes emoji.
Talk to
That's
them.
really good.
Oh, no, never mind. You can talk to them after you powder them, too.
Oh, can you?
Yeah, fun fact. So those enemies are called buzz blobs, and when you powder them, the form that they take is called a cukeman. Like cucumber. Cukeman.
I didn't know you can actually talk to them afterwards.
Yeah, you can.
That's actually kind of funny. All right, so this is Terran. He was definitely not eating the forest mushrooms here, and turned into a tanuki. Shout outs to Super Mario Brothers. You will see a lot more Super Mario Brothers references in this game.
Yeah, it kind of looks like Mario.
So here we pick up the Tail Cave key, which is the first dungeon of the game. But first we get a nice little visit from the owl. And we're going to make our way back downward towards Mabe Village and head over to Dungeon 1. Look, pal. I'm not taking you with me to Dungeon 1.
There's a lot of very subtle RNG and like the enemy movement on the way up to get those items that we get up there, and also on the way to D1. Just in the moblins, like the way the moblins move, like you can react certain ways to like negate the effect the RNG has in your time, but like other than that, there's not a lot you can do.
Yeah. Or at least we haven't found any way.
This run is kind of, I don't want to use the word dry, but like up to D1, like up through like the end of D1, and then as soon as you complete D1, the floodgates just open. And this game becomes something completely different. You'll see. It becomes interesting. Let's just say it's very fitting for this show.
So, like, yeah, the very first dungeon is just kind of like a nice little casual walk, and you're just, optimized movement, and you're just like, oh, this is a pretty nice game. And then once you exit Dungeon 1, like, there's just nonstop. The game is just like, hi, it's broken now.
So as far as the movement and everything goes, is this kind of like your basic movement for like how fast you're going to go? Is kind of like a leisurely stroll of Link?
Well, later on, we do get the Pegasus boots, which allow you to do a sprint of sorts. But we don't get that until Dungeon 3.
Which, by the way, we'll let you just listen to the sound effect that Link makes when he dashes with the Pegasus boots.
Can't wait.
This game is incredibly charming.
Somebody said in chat, by the way, sorry to interrupt. Somebody said in chat you have to let Link drown in Dungeon 4.
Oh, that was no questions asked.
To listen to the sound that he makes.
I don't know how somebody can, and I don't mean this in any kind of way, but I don't understand how somebody can like drown adorably. So first thing that we do here, so this game has auto saves. Whenever you open a treasure chest, pick up a key for a dungeon, or do anything that's noteworthy in a dungeon, it auto saves the game for you. So we take advantage of that by auto loading after picking up Rock's Feather, and it brings us straight back to the front of the dungeon, and it saves us a bunch of time as opposed to having to like walk all the way back. Since the game automatically saves right when we pick up the feather, it allows us to just like auto load right back to the front of the dungeon. You'll see us do that a lot. So here we're just walking up here to grab the nightmare key. We picked up a couple of keys on the way. And we're just going to grab the nightmare key, and we're going to make our way over to the first boss of the Tail Cave, which is a giant hamburger.
Literally, you'll see. The technical name for the boss is Moldorm, but don't let that fool you. I think
We're not here for technical names.
Yeah, ever since like Link Between Worlds, Moldorm was a hamburger.
But first, we get a nice little visit from. We get a nice little visit from a sub boss called Rolling Bones, which I don't know why he's called Rolling Bones, but sure. We just kind of stun lock him into a corner and then say our farewells. Okay, so first boss here we have Hamburger Moldorm. And I don't even know like what the eyes are. It looks like seashells.
But yeah, so Ice is using jumping there as kind of a timing mechanism and a little bit of a troll. Okay, Moldorm.
Yeah, no, right?
Yeah.
Goodness.
Yeah, so like 8 jumps at the bottom of the room there. You can also use the music, but jumping also works as well. But basically, like, just use that as a timing mechanism to time a charged spin slash. 2 spin slashes take care of Moldorm's tail. Also, picking up the heart container here is actually pretty important. Later on in this run, you'll see we have some intentional damage boosting for the sake of performing glitches. So getting some health in this run is actually pretty important.
I believe the technical term is cheating.
Well, yeah, that's implied that it's cheating. Yeah.
All right. So remember what we said before this dungeon. We're about to take a nice journey on a very glitch heavy run now. So the first glitch that we're going to perform is called Bow Wow Skip. Sorry for those who like Bow Wow, but we're never going to see Bow Wow ever again after walking past him in Mobby Village in the very beginning of the game. Yeah, we're never seeing him again. Reason being, he got kidnapped by moblins, and we're supposed to go save him, and then we have to take him on a world tour to pretty much eat the flowers in front of Dungeon 2, but we're not going to do that. We're actually going to pick up this chicken. We're going to take this chicken with us instead. That's our new pal.
Do you know what you're doing with this thing, Ice?
No. I just wanted to pick it up. Wait, what do I need it?
I don't know. You tell me. Also, I like how the kids in town are named Kiddo and Junia in English. Junia.
It's funny because what are their names in the German? It's like Tom Tom and Tam Tam.
Yeah.
All right.
I love that.
So here's our first section of glitch. We're gonna line ourselves up right here with the door frame, and that chicken's gonna boost us up on top of trees. So now we're out of bounds.
Yeah, and these trees are all solid.
Yeah.
As well. They don't have to be, but they are.
So right there, we take the chicken and we get eaten by the like, and with a very specific lineup. I use Link's ears. I'm not sure what other runners use.
Yeah, I also use the ears.
I use Link's ears, and what it does is when the like spits you out, since we're holding the chicken, it actually puts Link, like whenever like we get spit out, it puts Link on an angle, and that angle fires us up on top of the trees and places us out of bounds. So now that we're out of bounds, instead of going and rescuing Bow Wow, we're gonna walk on top of these brambles. We're gonna wait for that fish, jump across that, and we're gonna jump across the flowers, and we're gonna enter Dungeon 2.
So the reason we need the cuckoo there, or the chicken appearing enemy, is that the cuckoo actually deflects Link. You need to stand in a sort of specific spot to have the cuckoo like stay in a certain spot upon the like sucking you in. And the cuckoo stays on top of Link and deflects Link upon the shot upwards. That's what gets you up on the trees.
I'm getting destroyed by these Stalfos here, by the way.
Yeah, this room sucks.
Yeah, it's one of those as we talked about RNG rooms. So we're going to pick up this key right here. We're going to celebrate with the Stalfos under us. He's very, very proud of us for picking up the key out of this treasure chest. And we're just going to move on.
I love that. Do you want to explain Hinox warping, or should I?
I can kind of explain it. I don't know if you could probably explain it better than I can. Essentially, so Hinox warping. The next trick, glitch, definitely a glitch, that we're going to be performing is called a Hinox warp. And for, if y'all know like enemy names in this game, the Cyclops that whenever you slash throws bombs at you, picks you up and throws you, things like that. That enemy name is Hinox. So there's a thing in this game called a Hinox warp. And whenever you take damage on the same frame as getting picked up and grabbed by the Hinox, the game gets incredibly confused. And you gain like an incredible amount of speed, and you just get thrown into another portion of the dungeon. So we called it Hinox warp because you basically just get warped around the entire dungeon. And we found ways to set up this to basically warp to the instrument room in Dungeons 2, Dungeons 7, and Dungeon 8. Unfortunately, that's the only 3 dungeons that actually have a Hinox in it to warp with.
I was about to say, those are the only 3 dungeons with Hinoxes, and so we have setups for each of them to to bring us straight to the instrument room for all of them.
Yeah.
However, this one here, right here,
it's
it's luck based actually. There's a setup to get the frame perfect grab every single time, but unfortunately, this Hinox has a 1 in 3 chance to actually throw you in the direction that you need to get thrown in to have this work. So let's see if we get it.
Of course,
oh yeah. Let's go.
So we get it first try. So 33% chance of getting tossed into that instrument room.
Wow.
Yeah. Welcome
That's
to Link's
impressive.
Awakening.
Now, is the community for Link's Awakening very big? Because this game isn't like too terribly old, so I'm wondering, were both of you, strat hunting? Did you find a lot of these yourselves, or it was more of a community effort?
So we don't know who the person is that found out Hinox warping. It's actually just a random Reddit user.
Oh my gosh.
So a Reddit user posted a video that somebody just so happened to come across on one of the Link's Awakening Reddit. And they were just like, I don't know what happened, but I got warped to the instrument room and I don't know what happened. And they posted the video. And the day that got posted in the Discord was on fire. We were confused. We were like, what just happened? We thought it was like getting grabbed on a specific tile, just like doing specific things. We went and picked up the boomerang and tried to recreate it, and we just didn't know what was going on. So we after backwards destroying this game and reading through all the code, we finally started to get a better grasp, an idea at it. And we have quite a few glitch hunters in the community that were just pulling this game apart and picking at it and trying to figure out what makes it work.
For sure, yeah.
And I think there's over 200 runs on the any percent board, and there's also a few other categories. So it's got a pretty big community.
Oh wow! Yeah, I didn't expect that big.
I'm about to check. Let me see.
Yeah,
I'm over here on speedrun.com oh my gosh.
Any percent has 119 runs, so not quite 200, but still quite a bit for how old the game is.
Oh yeah, that's a huge community.
Yeah.
Would you say that everyone's, for the most part, pretty welcoming when it comes to new runners? Are you helping them out, or it's a little more quiet?
No. Typically, like if we have like a newer runner pop in, somebody's like right on point with like linking them to like the resources that we have. Like
Oh, awesome.
strats. I know one of the top runners, EDL. She has a tutorial video for both any percent and no Hinox warp, I believe. And she's very welcoming, like with just getting like newer runners started with the game.
Oh, that's excellent. I love it when a community is embracing of new runners. That's really cool.
And by the way, you heard that right. There is a category that actually specifically bans the trick that we just did in Dungeon 2 because honestly, it's fun to do, but like it's not the best for runs. So like, yeah, it kind of just like we made a category that routes around it and does not do it, which is honestly, and props to the community for like actually doing that, for like actually like going against the sort of status quo and having a category that bans something that we just like don't like really doing in runs too much,
yeah.
because they get more they get more complicated as the run goes on, like in Dungeon 7 and 8. Like they're actually frame perfect tricks then, and you lose like several minutes if you don't get them.
Dungeon 7's by itself is a sub-pixel double frame perfect trick.
By the way, we have to come into Dungeon 2 again to get the bracelet, because the way we did the Hinox Warp in Dungeon 2, yeah, you have to come back in and get it, but we do need that bracelet, unfortunately.
Alright, so we've completed Dungeon 2. We never even saw the boss. No, I want to talk to...
Also, yeah, somebody in chat sort of speculating about how Hinox warping works. I think my best guess, and this is like sort of the agreed upon thing in the community, like our best guess about how Hinox warping works is like, so you have like the way the Hinox grabs you is essentially like a sort of like zip to his hand when he grabs you. So our thought is that when Link takes damage, it sort of interrupts that moment. It interrupts that action of the zip. And Link, instead of stopping at the Hinox's hand, just keeps going. And a lot of things can determine like the like where Link actually ends up. Like for instance, in Dungeon 2, since the Hinox is right up against the wall, it actually like matters which direction he throws you. Like the reason that the Hinox changes direction with his throw is because you're not near the center of the room, like you're near the wall. And I think the time it takes for the Hinox to turn and throw you determines like how long it takes for you to like zip around the dungeon. And that actually really matters because when the Hinox throws you, that's when Link stops zipping around.
I'm sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
The shopkeeper here just taught us a valuable lesson. Don't steal from the shop. Otherwise, he's gonna literally just kill you. So our reaction is to take it, another item from the shop.
Oh, God.
Don't steal unless it's faster. That's the lesson to be learned here.
This is more things that shouldn't be taken out of context.
So for safety's sake, I'm going to take this teleporter here, just because it creates a safety save or like an auto save. Because sometimes this trick is a little on the difficult side. So there is an enemy in that one right there, and this pit here, and we're gonna use the top one here to kind of walk on top of the pincer, and we're gonna get out of bounds again. So we're gonna walk up here, I'm gonna spawn both of these, grab this guy. I think that's not gonna work. Yeah. Sometimes you don't spawn on top of the pincer. If you do that, just auto load. So now we're on top of the enemy here, and we're going to... it pushed me to the right a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be like super on the middle of these pincers. I'm not even sure what they're actually called. I just call them pincers. Like, but yeah, we do this to get into Dungeon 3 super early, or rather get the key for Dungeon 3 super early. So this skips a lot of gameplay. We are supposed to go to Candlelight Castle and do all this stuff in Candlelight Castle. Get the 5 golden leaves for Richard, bring them back to Richard, and then Richard lets you in basically his backyard, which is like not the most orderly backyard ever, I guess. Full of
somebody hasn't cut the grass in like 20 years.
But yeah, so basically this is just getting into Richard's backyard without his permission. So we're technically trespassing, I suppose. But yeah, here we're on top of the trees. We're going tree climbing once again. And we're just going to walk around. There's a pretty tricky little jump here. Right there. There we go.
If you jump too soon, you'll actually miss the tree. And you'll have to walk all the way back around and redo the trick. A good lineup that I use is the second layer of the tree. So like right here where Link's feet are, there's still kind of like a collision here that you can walk on. And that's like the cue that I use to like kind of jump to the next tree. So we're going to switch over to the shovel because we borrowed it. Borrowed it for a very specific reason. And that's to take this key here. So that's the slime key. That's going to give us access to Dungeon 3, which, like TGH was explaining, we needed to do Candlelit Castle and grab the 5 golden leaves, and Richard will then let us into the backyard, which is full of potholes and a bunch of grass and just to dig up a key. But we don't feel like doing that. It takes up too much time. So we're going to cut this grass here for fun, and we're going to make our way over to Dungeon 3. Dungeon 3 actually introduces a strange thing that was discovered. This is actually kind of a newer trick that was found about a year ago, if that.
Yeah, sounds about right.
I call it bomb floating. Some people call it bomb balloon. It's bomb something.
Yeah, I just want to take a second, by the way, to shout out to really like, okay, so like these, like finding setups and these glitches, like in the first place, were definitely a community effort. But I want to shout out 2 main people who have found like the vast majority of the glitches in this game, and those people are Kincaid and Tuval. Those folks have really like shaped these glitch runs into what they are. So big shout outs to those folks, and really the whole community overall. But the massive contributions of those 2 just cannot be ignored.
No. So there's a couple of different ways you can approach this trick. I'm gonna do the safer method, just because like it's super inconsistent in my opinion with the bomb jump that a lot of the top runners do. Just watch him explode there. So there's a bomb jump that you can do, because we're gonna get up top this object right here, because that's what we do. We walk out of bounds a lot. And there's a bomb jump you can do that actually boosts you on top of this to allow you to walk into this staircase. And for those runners that use that, you actually don't need to get that extra key. But for safety's sake here, and I'm well out of practice with that bomb jump, we're just gonna do the original method. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so just walking off the ledge a little bit there. Oh, that was weird. Yeah. With a bomb in your hand, for whatever reason, Link just kind of hovers on the corner, and you can actually manipulate Link's like position on the corner a little bit and let him glide on the wall. And you can see he's like actually gaining a bit of height as well. And we're just gonna slide right onto that fence thing, I guess, and then just walk along the fence all the way, and we can skip this fight completely. And we're gonna do this twice, actually.
Yeah, so we're gonna do this just to kind of walk over here and grab these Pegasus boots. So the Pegasus boots. If you listen closely, Link has a very nice animation. So the pitter patter that Link does is kind of adorable. When he charges up to dash. But with a big difference from this game to the Game Boy game, the Game Boy game and the Game Boy Color game actually puts the boots on either A or B for one of your 2 item slots. This game actually gives a dedicated button for the boots, which allows you to dedicate your items to, your Y and your X buttons.
Yeah, it's just a really nice quality of life sort of control adjustment for the Switch version. There are a lot of those. I think the same thing is done with Bracelet. You can just press A. You don't have to equip Bracelet like you do in the original Game Boy and Game Boy Color games. So here we go, just carefully walking along this fence again.
So we're going to jump on the chest this time and then kind of angle it to jump on top of this one. And there, we only needed 1 key.
So much for Key Cavern.
You only need 2 of them.
I guess in this case it is Key Cavern, not Keys Cavern. You just need 1 of them.
2 actually. The one in the beginning.
Oh, right. Well, okay. That one doesn't count, though.
Does it?
I mean, that one you're forced to get.
So immediately we get met with a boss that's going to laugh at us because they're hiding on the ceiling. You just dash into the wall and the boss just comes like falling down.
And we use the newly acquired Pegasus boots to split the eye.
Oh god.
And wow, he's really, really close. Okay, there we go. Well handled. Not giving you much personal space there.
I believe the trick coming up is the newest glitch that was found, I want to say.
Besides for, I think, the glitch to enter Dungeon 8 to skip the turtle and no Hinox Warp, I think this is the latest any % relevant glitch goes. Actually, D6, the thing in D6 was actually found after AK Skip 2.
Okay. My timelines are all over the place. So we're gonna actually, well, yeah, we don't have to come back in here, change up things. So we're gonna make our way over to, we need to go back to Mabe Village and we have to pick up a specific item. We're also gonna talk to the best character in the game.
Marin?
Yeah. Or at least I will. I don't know about you.
That's actually really funny because I thought you were talking about the owl at first.
Oh God.
And I was like confused. Like the owl, best character in the game. Okay.
Y'all don't like the owl as much.
Whatever you say.
The owl is kind of like the same owl from Ocarina of Time. You just want the text boxes to end.
That's fair.
The only thing he's missing is the cursor that defaults to no. I did not understand what you said.
Oh no. Don't remind me. Alright, so remember when we said that this game was a dream? Well, we're about to go to sleep and dream some more. This is the Dreamception Shrine. So we're going to take an intentional bop here. Because we're going to be lining up a drop for the next trick coming up. Nice piece of oh, right. I'm already forgetting here.
Oh yeah, the rupees. Yeah. So let me talk a little bit about how drops work in this game, or like specifically piece of power and acorn drops. More specifically, guardian acorn drops. So guardian acorns drop every 15 kills you make without taking any damage, and
14,
that's why
14.
Is it 14? Oh, whoops! I think it's 15 in the original. Whoops.
It is.
Yeah. So it's every 14 kills you take without damage, and a guardian acorn drops, which halves the amount of damage you take, and that's important for this trick. And I'll stop while you listen to the song here.
Okay. So I'm just not gonna speak during this part because Marin is about to sing for us. So that is the Ballad of the Windfish. Marin sings it for us. And if you really want to listen to it again, you can say no. And she'll sing it for you again. But we're going to tell her yes. So we're going to get that. That's going to be the key to opening the final dungeon. Nobody tell Ray.
It's too late.
I accept all responsibilities. I accept all responsibility there.
Okay, so guardian acorns once again. Go ahead. Oh yeah, get Tracy's potion as well.
No. I'm doing something real quick. Don't you dare. All right. So what I'm doing here is I'm setting up a safety save real quick. That we'll be using later on.
Okay, gotcha.
So Marin's beautiful song, is that like such a sweet moment in the original as well? Because it was very sweet in this version of the game.
Yes.
Okay,
Oh,
cool.
God. We need to be mindful not to take damage here.
Yeah, they were very faithful in the remake to the originals, and honestly, I really appreciate that.
Yeah, because I was gonna ask, like, in terms of the speed run, like, how do you think that they compare?
They might as well be different games, like
Right,
for
sure.
speedrun, to be completely honest. But yeah, like I mean, and like for instance, the any percent no wrong warp out of bounds speedrun for the original Link's Awakening DX doesn't even ever get the ocarina, so you don't see that cutscene ever. Yeah, so
Yeah, they've found a way to just not pick up the ocarina, which introduces like a bunch of great songs. Oh, I didn't want that. Yeah, I'm gonna auto-load that.
okay.
So we're counting here to force a very specific drop at a very specific time.
Yeah, we want the Guardian Acorn to drop because it drops after every 14 kills without taking damage. So we need to kill a specific array of enemies here. And then not take any more damage other than the damage we took in the shrine. To kill the 14th enemy right on top of this ladder right here. And do something called an air climb. And that air climb is going to let us get into Dungeon 4 without the key. So ordinarily, you need to like fight Land Mola, go have a date with Marin on the beach. And then...
Did I miscount?
What?
Where's my well, that's weird. Okay, I need to find
Did
my
you
drop.
take damage anywhere? I'm trying to think of like...
The fox.
Oh, the fox hit you. Oh, revenge.
That's okay.
Revenge.
There's a neat little backup here. Besides bonking that tree. So there's an infinite zombie spawner here.
I'm sorry, but that's just karma. That's just karma at its finest.
You know what? I honestly deserve it. It's fine. I guess, yeah. Don't hit foxes, everyone. You'll literally lose your count. I'm glad I didn't make a safety save there.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Please no. Please no. I'm trying to cheat here. Stop. All right, I'm just gonna walk off.
Pigs heard about what you did to the fox.
I'm just trying to play. Here, hold that for me.
There you go.
All right. No, I don't want to load.
The air climb that we're going to try to do here is going to get us in Dungeon 4. It's going to get us on top of some invisible walls here, like a system of invisible walls. And Link's going to kind of glide like he did in Dungeon 3. The ultimate idea is to get onto the wall that's the northern border of the ground below where that other pig is walking around there.
There we go.
Here we go, and jumping over the acorn.
Ah.
Oh, I just got stuck a little bit. Okay, there's the drowning noise for you. We got that out of the way.
All right, so we overshot the jump, which is why we made the safety save there, because this trick can be a little tricky. There's a lot of collision we need to avoid with this trick in order to make this jump, and we need to land on a very precise kind of like barrier of that platform there.
Yeah, this trick, this is probably the hardest trick to do in the whole game, right here.
Nope.
Close. But yeah, the idea, like, that was just a little bit too far left. The idea is to get onto the back wall. This is very hard to do.
So I'm assuming we're trying to get to like the top section from here.
Yeah, so you see the little like S-shaped wall, like near the below where we are right now, like not below like as in down, but below as in like on the lower level, where the other goblin there is walking around. Yeah, it's like you want to get on that back wall, and then from there, it's not that bad. Like we basically just like jump over some water, and I was a little bit too close to the ladder.
Yeah.
From there, we jump over some water. And there's a waterfall in front of Dungeon 4. It's good to note that that waterfall does not have collision at all, so we can just walk through it. But we do need to bypass all the other barriers that exist here, which are the walls.
Right, okay.
Barriers don't exist. I don't like that positioning. All right, that's better.
That looks good.
Yeah. All right.
Here we go. Block that shot. Good. Oh. This pig really doesn't like you.
All right,
there we go. And we're in.
So this waterfall doesn't have collision. But yeah, welcome to Dungeon 4. We don't have to go to Animal Village at all to go fight the land mullet to get the angler key skip. The angler key. We don't need to go get the angler key skip. All right. So immediately upon entering Dungeon 4, we're gonna start cheating again.
Yeah, we don't even have time to breathe before cheating again.
So we're gonna kind of float on this wall here. Uh-oh.
Yeah, so you can just jump onto this wall. There are a couple of others you can do this with too, but in order to actually gain height to get on top of the fence here, which we're gonna do to get the nightmare key, we need to pick up a bomb. So we basically just flow over to the chest and pick up a bomb on top of the chest.
Very slowly, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, and then we pick up the bomb,
goodness.
float over here.
Speeding.
Yeah,
All right,
this is pretty tricky here.
Yeah, because sometimes it'll just kick you off. All right, so we're going to float up top here, and we're going to have it just kind of drop us off. And now we're on top of this barrier, and we're going to use this barrier. Well, I didn't want those anyway.
I think you're fine for bombs either way.
Yeah. So we're going to come grab the nightmare key, but we're not going to use it, actually. So in the any percent route, and I think in every other route, we kind of leave this dungeon for last. So we're gonna leave the boss alive until we get to the end of this run. But we're gonna grab the nightmare key early, just cause. But also, here you go.
No.
Like, there's just different animation sounds. They all sound adorable.
Just answering a question, chat. In the original and the remake, as long as you're holding a bomb, it will never explode. Even if you throw it and then pick it up again, I think. All right, so here's Cue Ball.
Ah.
Yeah, Cue Ball is pretty hard to do optimally. Like, basically, it's just a series of very well-timed spin slashes or normal slashes. To hit him in the back, like around the corner, it's pretty difficult to do.
All right, so our main objective here is just to come in here and grab the flippers, which we're going to use quite a bit in this game. So once we grab the flippers, we're going to auto-load and leave. And we're going to immediately go and grab another song, which you don't do in the 80% route anymore. But we're going to do it anyway, because we're not going to just not listen to Mambo here.
Yeah. Listening to this music, very important. Very important.
So we get Mambo's Mambo, which that tune allows us to warp to any previously activated teleporter that we've activated. And we're going to utilize that a lot in this run here. Like, right now. And we're going to head over to the Seashell Manor and head over to Dungeon 5.
Dungeon 5 has a pretty peculiar skip. Relative to every other skip in this run, it's pretty unique. You'll see. It's funny.
It's a trick of many names. My name for it isn't actually a word. It's just a whistling sound.
Mm-hmm.
So this is Catfish's Maw. If you've played Undertale, You may recognize the sub boss in this game.
From what, Ice? From what, dare I ask? From what?
I just said it. Undertale.
Oh, I didn't hear that part. I'm still mad about it, though. If that wasn't clear.
It's been a little while since I've played Undertale, so I have a couple of guesses, but I'm not sure.
It's a certain bony character.
Okay, I think I know now.
Well,
not that one, but the other one.
Fun fact, both Sans and Papyrus are in this game.
That's true. Yeah, we see Sans later. And yes, I'm playing along. Screw it.
It only took 2 years, but the 3 years actually, but it finally happened.
I finally acknowledged.
What a joyous day. All right, so Master Stalfos, aka Papyrus. And the reason that I call this boss Papyrus, if you're familiar with the Undertale speedrun, you fight Papyrus 4 times in the the pacifist route, if I recall.
Yes, yep.
So you fight Papyrus 4 times in the pacifist route. Well, you also fight Master Stalfos 4 times in this route. So yeah, that's Papyrus. So we're going to have to fight him 4 times, and the 4th time he's going to drop the dungeon item, which is what we're going to need in order to execute the skip of this dungeon. So just kind of we're kind of like well-timed bombs here. Just kind of speed things up with this fight. 3 bombs makes quick work of them. And we're gonna go pick up this extra bomb pack up here. I will make a safety save just to kind of like showcase the glitch a couple times. Nice piece of power.
Yeah, so Master Stalfos does drop the hook shot. And it's funny because the actual dropping of the hook shot is what facilitates this glitch in the first place. Because the hook shot is actually a physical item when it drops. And the idea is to basically clip into this hook shot by picking up a bomb underneath it. And this will make sense once it's actually done. But basically, we kill Master Stalfos in a very specific spot relative to where we are in the room. Like, we kill him at the very bottom of the room. We kill him in such a way where the hook shot lands on Link's head, essentially. So it's like kind of wedged between Link's head and the wall. And then we pick up our own bomb. And the result is we clip into the hook shot. And, well, the rest is, you'll see.
I picked up the heart and lost it immediately. Nice.
But yeah, you don't want to miss the result of this.
Oops. I don't know if that's
fine.
Yeah. All right, so the hook shot is going to spawn right above our head here. I'm too far. Oh, no, I wasn't.
No, you're good. So what do you call this glitch again? What do you call that trick?
That glitch is called...
Perfect.
Reason being is because it's the sound effect that plays whenever Link picks up the bomb. The trick's actual name is, I think it's Hookshot Rocket. And
yeah,
we
Hookshot Rocket, Slime Eel Skip. I think those are the only 2 names I've noted by.
Rocket Shot?
Rocket Shot, yeah.
Sure. Surprise commentary from Amber, by the way. So hi to Amber.
Hi.
So yeah, we pretty much just kind of launched on the dungeon walls there, and we're able. So you can kind of like, if you look at the dungeon map, this is the room where the hook shot is. We come out of the staircase, and this is where we fight Master Stalfos the 4th time. Well, it launches us onto this wall, and we're able to just walk directly into the instrument room, which is 2 rooms to the right. I don't think they were thinking about like how the instrument rooms were placed.
Something tells me they hadn't accounted for this. No. Something tells me they didn't quite take this into consideration when they put that room right there. Especially not back in 1993 when the original was made and they were in the same place.
So we need to come back in here and grab the hook shot because we need it. Or I need it. So we're going to play Mambos again, and we're going to head back to Seashell Mansion. And we're going to make our way over to Dungeon 6. But first we need to make a pit stop in the Face Shrine maze. I'm going the wrong way.
Yes, we do this part pretty much as intended. And then D6 itself is a thing.
Also intended.
Technically exists, but not for a very long amount of time.
Yeah,
I think every dungeon in this game, except for Dungeon 1, has a very major glitch associated with it.
I think so as well.
But the overworld travel, for the most part, is like pretty tame. Well, actually, I say this, but then, you do angler key skip, and that kind of goes out the window, I guess, and villa skip and stuff like that. It's mostly tame, at least from here on forth. Well, actually, never mind. You know what? Forget I said anything.
Let's say
I forgot about early D8. And
the rooster would like to have a word with you.
Yeah, the rooster would like to have several words with me, actually.
I like grabbing those extra arrows, just... I have bad aim.
No, it's never a bad idea.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, well done. The timing on those arrow shots is actually weirdly finicky. So well done there to take care of. I call that Master Armos. I don't know if that's the correct word. There's Master Stalfos, and then there's Master Armos. I don't know. It's a big version of the smaller enemy.
Pretty much, yeah.
So, yeah. Makes sense to me.
To answer a question in chat, it's a faithful redesign of the game, yeah.
Yeah, but it's done in a completely different engine because it's for the Switch instead of for the Game Boy, so... the speedruns might as well be completely different games.
Yeah, definitely. So there is a pretty big skip coming up here. And as you saw, like right at the start of the show, Link was kind of just standing on the dungeon wall. That's what we're going to be doing in this dungeon. So there's a very interesting doorway in this dungeon. I'm not 100% certain as to why the doorway acts as it does, but it's interesting. Let's just go with that one.
Let's just say you could fittingly put the DuckTales Moon theme to this particular action, and it would fit. If I had to describe this trick in a phrase, it would be Link must go, his people need him. Also, D6 has the best music in the game.
Oh yeah, hands
just
down.
throwing it out there.
I think that's our first instance of Goombas. So yeah, this dungeon has Goombas in it. Again, shout outs to Mario Brothers. You would also see them if you were to, go to Candlelit Castle, but we don't like that place.
Oh yeah, there are Goombas in the underground areas, yep. Going to Candlelit.
Yeah. So we're coming in here to pick up a couple of extra rupees, because we need 300 rupees, and I'm 4 rupees short. We need 300 rupees in order to purchase the last song that we need in the game, which is the Frog Song of Soul.
Which is the other best song in the game, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
All right, so yeah, the particular door frame that Ice mentioned a few minutes ago is a pretty peculiar one. As far as we know, it's the only door frame that does this in the game, but yeah. So yeah, after we pick up these rupees right here, we're just immediately gonna go ahead and do this.
So this door frame right here, you could boot up your copy of the game right now, and all you have to do is you just walk into this door frame and Link starts flying. Again, I don't understand why this works as it does, but we use it to get on top of the walls. So now we're on top of the dungeon walls here.
Yep, we just run along the walls, and there's a specific way that we run here to avoid some weird transitions.
All right, so we're gonna run along these walls, and once we get to this screen here, you move left a little bit, and then you can start running up. Otherwise, it'll kind of kick you off the wall, and we just run straight to the triangle.
Yep, no problem.
Oh, nicely done.
Poor Facade. Hashtag justice for Facade.
Facade's like the best boss.
Facade sees justice in glitchless, but only glitchless.
We should go fight Facade just for the sake of fighting Facade.
It's a shame because it's actually one of the best boss fights in the remake. It went from being one of the worst boss fights in the original to being one of the best in the remake.
Big shout outs to Kiki, the monkey up there in your under my heart count there.
Oh, it's so small. Hi.
We're supposed to talk to Kiki, and we're like, you're supposed to do a quest in this game in order to access Candlelit Castle, which involves us getting a banana. So we need to do the trendy game, the crane game, to get a Yoshi doll to give to a couple of parents that give you a bow, which we give to Bow Wow's little sister, who then gives us a can of dog food, and we trade the dog food for a for a banana. I'm not making this up. We give the banana to Kiki, and Kiki gives us access to Candlelit Castle. And you're supposed to go through this game, and you need to do the entire trade quest in order to get the final item, which is the what is it? I think it's the lens of truth.
Yeah, the magnifying glass.
And that allows us to, see invisible enemies in the screen and certain areas of the overworld, Animal Village. There's a hidden Zora in there. There's a hidden moblin on the beach that you can trade your shovel for a boomerang. But most importantly, it allows us to read the book that tells us the egg path. There's a seashell here, by the way. Oh, jeez.
I forgot there was a seashell in that tree.
But yeah, it allows us to read the book that tells us the egg path. Well, since we kind of RNG manipulated the egg path, we don't need to do any of the trade quest. That's going to be there later, isn't it?
It's worth noting too, a small side note about the RNG manipulation is that it also controls the order of the tile puzzle in Dungeon 4. But since we don't do that either, we also don't need to worry about that.
Yeah. In Glitchless you do.
You do, but well, it's RNG maniped either way. But yes,
Yeah.
you do need to, yeah.
So this is signpost maze. We have to read these signs in a very particular way, starting with the very first sign upon entering the maze. And then the signpost will only tell you the next direction if you read them in the correct order. I need to bonk this tree and get rupees. We're gonna... Oh, never mind. I don't need to do that anymore.
Nope. Thank you, Crab.
Calculated, by the way. Calculated, by the way. All right, so this, in my opinion, is the second best song in the game, other than, Ballad of the Windfish. This is called the Frog Song of Soul. So we're gonna sit here and listen to this because it's wonderful.
There you have it. The Frog Song of Soul, also known as the Bruh Song.
Bruh.
Bruh, 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 bruh.
Bruh.
Boots and cats and boots and cats and boots and cats. All right, so upon acquiring that song, and the reason that we need that song, we need to perform necromancy. So we're gonna head over here and we're gonna push this this nice little statue here and reveal a staircase. And underneath the staircase, we're gonna have this unfortunate pile of bones. Well, we're gonna play the Frog Song of Soul here, and lo and behold, we're gonna revive this. Well, it's a rooster.
Also, I'd like to shout out the fact that the Bow Wow Kidnap music still plays in Mabe Village.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Because we skipped that. We completely skipped rescuing Bow Wow earlier.
Yeah, we still haven't rescued Bow Wow, by the way. Bow Wow is still kidnapped by moblins. And, well, he's under new management now. All right, so we're going to immediately take the rooster here because the rooster is probably one of the most broken NPCs in this game. And we're just going to immediately just start breaking this game in half with the rooster. So right up here, there's a cave that you're supposed to go all the way around Telltale Heights, or Telltale Mountain. And you're supposed to go through a cave that... I just see Ray in chat.
Yeah.
Look, I didn't do it, Ray.
This rooster's gonna betray you. I'm just saying that right now.
Yeah,
the
probably.
Rooster knows what you did. That look in his eyes.
So we're supposed to go to Dungeon 7 first. And we're supposed to pick up an item called the Mirror Shield. And the Mirror Shield's main objective is not to deflect projectiles, but it's to block fire from hitting Link and knocking him away from entering the area where Dungeon 8 is. Well, we don't want to go to Dungeon 7 first. We want to do Dungeon 8 because Dungeon 8 is the shortest dungeon in the game. Turtle Rock is like literally the shortest dungeon in the game. So we're going to take this rooster here and we're going to not air climb here, but we're going to air climb with this rooster. So I'm going to line up the camera to do a very specific thing. And we're going to air climb here.
If it wasn't clear by now, ladders are a little bit weird in this game. And that's an understatement. But with the rooster allows you to air climb, just like we did to enter Dungeon 4. Basically whenever you want. And also carry the rooster while you're doing it as well.
Oh, that was a way too early of a turn.
There's an invisible wall that Ice is trying to land on a piece of on the corner. And there's a very specific frame where you can jump as well off of the invisible wall and actually get up onto that opening.
Yep. Which is respectively just named Flame Cave Skip. I am not getting my jumps right here. There's like a visual cue that I use for this jump. But also this trick is also kind of a pain in the butt sometimes.
This trick is really difficult. Like, it's mostly a feel trick, and that's what makes it difficult, really. Because, like...
Also, I'd like to point out, how is Link climbing the ladder here?
The rooster...
That is some very, very strong ankles.
There we go. There we go.
So that skips going to D7 early, getting the mirror shield. Because we actually used to go to Dungeon 7 first, grab the mirror shield, knock down the pillars, and then leave because we needed the rooster. And then we would come to Dungeon 8. But somebody found air climbing, and it just became, we needed to test every ladder in the game. So we need to fight the boss here, or the sub-boss of Turtle Rock, which is aptly named Turtle Rock. And we need to break open the rocks on the boss's face.
And we do all this to a Pokemon battle theme as well. There we go.
All the little swirly eyes. That was good.
Okay. So
Turtle Rock is my favorite Pokemon.
All right. So when I said that this was the shortest dungeon of the game, I meant it. So this dungeon, if you get this trick first try, it's a 43-second dungeon.
Mm-hmm. And that's not an exaggeration.
It's very fitting for, the 8th dungeon of the game, which is supposed to be the longest.
Yeah, so there's a particular setup for this Hinox Warp involving bomb arrowing yourself on a frame perfect timing. That was frame perfect, by the way, so nicely done. And this is the boss room. And
you'll notice that the boss isn't spawned. But if we walk to the front of the door, the boss will spawn. So we don't want to do that. So instead, we're just going to take the Thunder Drum.
Nicely done.
So yeah, that Hinox Warp is frame perfect to get, the firing the bomb arrow into the wall to take damage. So we also take damage while getting grabbed at the same time. Which results in you just being kind of thrown right to the boss's room. So like I can kind of like show it off like again if need be. And you can kind of tell.
Feel free.
You can kind of tell. I mean it'll probably like. Well, now we'll definitely just die to the.
Yeah, it's gonna kill you now. Plus you get hearts.
Saved by the rope.
Oh, never mind.
I'm just gonna stop talking from now on. Just.
Should I say it? That
Go ahead.
knows what you did to the fox.
Are we sure it's the BMOS? It's. I'm starting to think like Ray might have like jumped into the game here.
If you get it here, you're gonna die in the hothead room. It's fine though. It'll be funny.
Well,
oh, you have a potion. You don't want to use that though. Yeah, you need that for later.
Yeah,
we do need that potion for another glitch coming up in Dungeon 7. Which
do you know if spawning the boss does it create an autosave?
I don't know. I wouldn't risk it.
Yeah, let's just reload.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't want to.
I want to say unlocking the boss door creates an autosave, but spawning the boss doesn't. But I'm not positive about that.
Coming up here is like my favorite part of this entire run, and the reason being is because I kind of feel like I don't need this many hearts. I kind of feel like Grezzo like knew we were gonna break this game in half. Which, by the way, hey, you could kind of fall on the top of this rock, and we don't need to go all the way around Telltale Heights. But I kind of feel like Grezzo knew that we were going to like find a way to like break this game into like 300 pieces. So we're gonna use the rooster here, and we're gonna clip through this platform and out of bounds. And Telltale Heights has collision. So we're right by the egg, by the way. And this is my favorite part of it. The game like kind of laughs at you a bit. If you're dashing around this egg and you bonk into the egg, the music stops. Like the game was just like, yo, check out this guy. Just bunked into the egg. So like, if we do that. So it just kind of stops and it's just like, yo, get a load of this guy. He just bumped into the egg.
who is this ice blue guy?
It's funny every single time. By the way, do you want to go for a break, by the way, when we enter Dungeon 7?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We could actually do it before getting the Eagle Key, if you want.
Yeah, whenever you're comfy.
Yeah. Yeah, so let's get the Eagle Key here, and then we can go for a break. So we're going to come in here. We need to grab the Dungeon 7 key, which is needed to open Eagle's Tower.
Yeah, that jump, by the way, right there was way harder than it looks.
Eagle's Tower probably has, if we were to collectively add the amount of minutes that glitch hunters, speedrunners have all spent in Eagle's Tower, I'm pretty sure the calculator would error. But yeah, this would be a great opportunity to kind of take off on a break here.
Okay, yeah, sure. Well, then yeah, we are going to do as Ice Blue says and take a quick break. But before we do, I want to give a big shout out to all of our supporters. Your subs, Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, and bits cheered here on the GDQ Twitch channel do help support Games Done Quick, both with Hotfix and with AGDQ 2023 costs. So please consider subscribing if you do enjoy your daily dose of GDQ. We will be right back with more Link's Awakening, so stay tuned. All right, everybody, welcome back to That's Never Happened Before. If you are just tuning in, we are currently getting a very detailed look at the glitches in the remake of Link's Awakening for Nintendo Switch. So Ice Blue, I will let you continue it from here.
All right, other than the rooster parkour that we're doing, all right, we're gonna auto-load here after grabbing the Eagle's Tower key. So we're gonna auto-load and we're gonna immediately just kind of go off to the right here. We're gonna perform another air climb. Which this air climb isn't really needed, but it does save a good bit of time.
Yeah, it saves a lot. Also, worthy to note, by the way, as we glide over the edge of the mountain here, that auto load was actually necessary from the Eagle Cave, because that waterfall that we skipped opening to skip into D4, is still there, and the top of it does have collision. So you actually need to autoload there to bypass that waterfall, because falling down the intended way will put you right behind that waterfall and make you stuck.
Yeah, and then you'll have to like,
but yeah, you have to like redo the whole thing again.
Yeah, you'll have to go back, I think, because I don't think it saves when you land out there, I believe, right?
Yeah.
So you would have to go back, do Flame Cave, clip out of bounds, go around the egg, and then get back to that cave again. So we don't like entering any of these caves here. So we're going to use this eagle, I'm calling it eagle now, this rooster to kind of air climb. And there's a couple ways you can go about this. If you jump at the last frame of the air climb, the game actually treats you as inbounds. And if you get the angle right, you can actually land on the platform, and you don't need to do this next part, which I think it's funny to watch, because Link just kind of falls through the earth for 3 seconds, and then you just spawn back onto the platform. So you can actually just do, well, my angle didn't go, but sure. So I'll do the jumping method first, just to kind of show that off. So you can do that and you'll land. I don't like this. But then you can also make sure you don't fall into that pit, by the way.
Yeah, the pit takes you down towards D4.
But you can also do this, which is honestly, it's the funnier method. So you come up here and you just fall. And then suddenly you're back up here.
Yeah, so I guess the instant that you actually touch the ground, or you don't really touch the ground, you go through it. But the instant that you're there, it sets your home tile to there, your safe tile. And when the game sort of detects that you're not on solid ground for a specific amount of time, it'll spawn you back to your latest safe tile, which is there. So that's why that happens.
All right. Eagle's Tower. Where to even begin with this dungeon?
So before you even begin, it's almost over.
This is the dungeon that started the Discord fire of everybody searching for how to recreate Hinox Warp. So the Reddit user that we had spoken about earlier that discovered the accidental Hinox Warp was in this dungeon. And it took thousands, if not 10,000s of hours of our glitch hunters figuring out a setup that was consistent to getting the instrument room frame that we use to kind of get through this dungeon. So there is a couple of frames that you can get. I'm going to take some intentional damage here because I'm kind of high on health. There is a couple of frames you can get that'll still get you to the top floor without needing to drop the pillars, and without needing to do, any of the dungeon itself. But there's a couple of frames that get you right up to the top floor, and you don't need the Nightmare Key where you get Hinox warped. You can actually just walk straight to the boss door. But we want to, ideally in the 80% run, you want to get the Hinox warp to the instrument room, because Evil Eagle's fight is very RNG heavy. He can do a number of attacks. Mostly he's gonna throw feathers at you and waste a lot of time. But there's one notably hilarious. I'm gonna actually make a save here. There's one notably hilarious frame that you can get, which actually puts you directly into the boss fight. So what we're doing right here, this is called a skew. And a skew is basically if you jump with the feather and you kind of angle on the joystick a little bit, you can actually get yourself off the 8 directionals that Link is always facing. So this game it's on an 8 directional plane, but you can get off that 8 directional plane by using the feather. And we want to do that so we can fire a bomb arrow to hit this switch, which skips 50% of the dungeon.
And the other 50 is skipped by This trick we're about to do here.
So this setup, I don't remember exactly who found this setup, but Tej and I actually kind of simplified the setup here. I'm gonna just get rid of the 3 of a kind there, just to make it easier to explain. So you're gonna see me do a series of bonks here, and these bonks are very important because it puts us on a very specific subpixel. And we need this specific subpixel in order to get the correct coordinate for the Hinox warp to the instrument room. And the specific subpixel, I believe, is like how many? It was like 4 or 5 decimal places, I believe.
Yeah, it's a very specific floating point.
Yeah,
it's like within, at least 1,000th.
Yeah.
To 10,000ths of a decimal, but it's very, very specific, and just a little bit off can throw off everything to make it not possible.
Yep. So we're gonna bonk. We're gonna bonk here. We're gonna dash upwards, bonk there, and we're gonna dash into the Hinox room. Upon entering the Hinox room, we're gonna immediately leave, and then we're gonna walk down left. Now we're on a very specific subpixel. That's the Goomba floor.
Yeah, so this is frame number 1. If I'm not mistaken.
Oh no,
never mind. That was actually the frame before. Okay, so
it was early.
There's a 3-frame window to have this trick be beneficial. But there's only 1 frame for the instrument room, as I described. But any frame before or after that 3-frame window will send you, for instance, where I just ended up. But it's still a hard frame to hit because there's really not much of a visual cue going on here. It's really a feel trick. It's a frame perfect feel trick, which is interesting. But and the reason that you can't really use a visual cue is because Link is flashing the entire time because he just took damage from the Hinox's bomb. Everything here that you see is extremely it is set up to be extremely precise. Everything from the bonks to the shooting of the arrow to getting hit by the bomb to the setup to leaving and re-entering the room, everything is specifically designed to make this trick a 3-frame window. Otherwise, it might not even be possible to have it be beneficial.
No, my arrow didn't come off. So we just need to reset up the bonks here. But yeah, it's a very precise window to fire the arrow, and then the dash and bonk, and then slash. That's way too late.
Yeah, so this is like pillar.
This is gonna be it's I don't think it's pillar. Yeah, it is. Okay, yeah.
It's ballroom.
Ballroom. So there's a bunch of different frames. Ideally, there's a nice visual cue that you can see if you actually got the instrument room. But there's also an exact same frame on that, and you can tell if you didn't get the instrument room frame right with the specific visual cue. At the bottom center of the screen, Link will flicker for like 1 frame. That indicates you're going to get the ballroom again, which we don't want to see.
Yeah, so in order, the 3 frames goes as follows. Frame 1 is the platform room, or the Goomba platform. Frame 2 is the boss room, the actual eagle fight itself, and frame 3 is the instrument room. Anything before or after that brings you to an unhelpful room, like the ballroom or the mirror shield room. That looks good. Now we look for Link to flicker on the bottom of the screen. Not happening. And there it is.
Go. So that is the Hinox warp directly to the instrument room. But we don't want that right now.
Well, never mind.
Yeah, we're gonna try to show all the frames, I think, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, that is ideal. That is the ideal result, is the instrument room. but it's not the most entertaining result.
No, not even in the slightest.
But yeah, this dungeon and this trick is like, it's the bane of anybody on good pace going into this dungeon. And it's not even just the Hinox Warp itself that can be trolly. The 3 of a kinds can also be trolly if you don't kill them.
Yeah. You can lose like 30 seconds in that room.
Yeah.
Nice. Arrow.
Arrow, please.
I mean, at least we get to listen to the pitter patter more. Oh, I fired way too late there. We don't want to get hit by the fireball because it'll throw off the whole thing. We need to take damage from the bomb that the Hinox throws.
It's also important to note that the trick gets thrown off if the first dash into the left wall is a strafed dash.
I think this is the frame I'm looking for. I'm holding right. All right, welcome to the boss. Hi.
Stop.
Oh my gosh, hi.
This is the most
then.
entertaining. This is the most entertaining frame you can get because it literally just throws you right in front of the boss and you're just like facing the boss and you're just like, hey, sup?
This is Sans, by the way.
Yes. From the smash hit game Undertale.
Yep, and here we get to see maybe some Eagle trolling as well, and this is why we really don't want to fight Eagle, because there are a bunch of patterns he can give that are just not workable. Oh, that was weird. He respawned there like immediately. That was really strange.
But yeah, the other frame that we were talking about is you get thrown to the platform outside of the boss room, which is actually the frame you don't like. Out of the 3, it's the slowest frame. So I can kind of show you like where you land. You'll land right here. And it's the slowest of the 3 frames. Also, I've been trying to figure out in this game, there's a weird section of the wall right here that I don't like. It's like the corner of it's like missing and you can kind of get stuck into it, and Link just kind of like bounces in it. So like, and I've been trying to figure out like I don't know like I don't know why this exists.
What you doing there, Link?
Link's bouncy house corner.
But yeah, that's Dungeon 7. We play about 3 minutes of it, and then we go about our merry way. Okay, so the last dungeon that we head to is Dungeon 4. Now, the reason that we saved Dungeon 4 for last, there is a very specific side quest that we just do not want to actually, hit the trigger for. Reason being is that side quest takes like 9 years to complete. So if you walk below, like if you complete Dungeon 4 and you walk below a certain point of the overworld, a ghost spawns. And the ghost will follow you. You can't enter buildings, you can't enter dungeons. The ghost will just tell you, no, this isn't my house. This isn't my house. We need to bring the ghost to their house so they can, reminisce about like what it was like, being amongst the living. And the ghost takes like 300 years just to kind of like float around the house and like tell you about like, oh, this is this and this is that. And then after that, it's not even done. You have to bring the ghost to their grave. And that's how you get one of...
Takes another like 300 years.
Yeah, and all of that just for a bottle.
This trick takes a lot of years. Or not trick, but like the sequence takes a lot of years.
So like
is the moral of the story.
We don't want to do that. So we saved Dungeon 4 for last because the actual like story trigger for that ghost is Dungeon 4, the surf harp.
Mm-hmm. There are a couple triggers for it. Triggles, nice. There are a couple of triggers for it. One is completing Dungeon 4, and the other is traveling south of a certain point, like roughly south of where the heart container is, like the cross, the heart container
piece.
in the area like south of D2.
The heart piece of shame, if you're familiar.
Yeah, the
with
heart piece of shame. Yes.
Bloop bloop glub glub oog food bloop glub.
Butter.
It's not as entertaining.
Perfectly reasonable.
So in German as well, this boss is called Piranha Killer. Just Piranha-Killer.
Do either of you know German? Like when you're playing the game in German, is it?
No.
Can you read it all? Okay, fair.
I will say I will recommend if you have time, go watch the AGDQ 2020 run that TGH did. We raised quite a bit of money to force Teach to kind of read like 2 books.
Oh my gosh, that sounds good.
And it was phenomenal, to say the least.
It was fun. I was more surprised, honestly. I was surprised by the people who actually approached me after that run, who were like native German speakers, and they said to me like, "Hey, your German's pretty good," and I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
Hey, if you got
what
German
are you
approval,
on about?
that's good.
But yeah, so we now have all 8 of the instruments and egg. And
Egg.
it's just egg.
Egg.
It's probably the best line of the game there, egg. By the way, the waterfall's still flowing.
Yep.
So we're gonna head back over. I didn't get the Dompe hut. So we're gonna head to this one instead. Oh, there was my piece of power. 1 kill later, which would have been very nice to have for Angler. So we have to be very, very mindful here. Well, so long, groupie. We need to be mindful of how low we go here. Because if not, we're going to spawn the ghosts. And
I think you're fine as long as you stay up here. Like, as long as you don't, like, go get that heart piece, you're fine.
Sure, isn't that? It's pretty tempting. All right, so coming up here, we're coming up to the end of the run. Which, unfortunately, there aren't really, like, glitches in this section. But there's more to be shown after the run's done. So don't get too depressed, because
we might get cut off again by Ray. I don't know.
All right, so I'm not going to talk during this because we're about to play the Battle of the Windfish, and this is a great song. All right, so Battle of the Windfish is masterpiece. But unfortunately, it's over. So we get one more conversation before we head into the final battle, and it's just the owl telling us to go wake the windfish. So the RNG manipulation, as I said at the beginning of the run, we manipulate the egg pattern. So every single time I play this particular file, the egg path was always going to be... Go right, Link. Right. Up. Left. Up. Up.
It's
up.
basically up all the way from this point, yeah.
Up. And up.
And if you notice, the egg was actually dark there. If you read the book in the library with the magnifying lens like you're supposed to, the egg lights up kind of like this room does. And yeah, that's how you know that you didn't read the book. But luckily, the path still exists even when you don't read the book, so.
Yep. All right, so Nightmare is a series of boss fights. Kind of low on arrows there. We'll be fine though.
13 is plenty.
So you have the blob phase, you have Aghanim, and then you have Moldorm, then Ganon, and then you have Deatheye. Nice RNG here.
You forgot about Landmola. How could you forget about Landmola?
I called him Moldorm.
Oh no, you got Moldorm. Moldorm is before Ganon, but you forgot about the least forgettable phase ever, Landmola. It's actually very forgettable.
So we're lining up in very specific spots here.
Yeah, so you can actually get double hits on Ganon, which is really nice with spin slashes if you angle yourself in the right way there. Here's Landmola.
Who?
Landmola's here.
I don't remember this fight at all.
Landmola actually only takes one hit in the original. It's even less. It's even more forgettable. All right, so here's Deatheye. Deatheye takes 10 arrows to beat. So 2 each is fine. It is possible to get 3 arrows each, but it's very difficult to do. And you have to do it twice to get it to actually save like any significant time.
Yeah.
Cool, yeah, and that's the run. I think time would end once you once the screen fades to black upon completely to black upon climbing the staircase here.
I forgot. It's in English. The owl's like, thief, enter the staircase.
Right. Yeah, when you steal from the shop in this game, the game changes your name to Thief. Thereafter.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So we can kind of show off a little bit more of the tricks here and some like the older tricks that are just not used anymore.
For sure. I was curious, like, what would you say are like the most recent like additions to the speedrun? Like, how recent is like the newest trick that is implemented in the run?
The Dungeon 6 door, I must go, my people need me. That's that's the most recent trick. I don't know exactly when it was discovered. I know like the door frame was discovered like at the very beginning of the game's life. But we really didn't know like what to do with it. We just knew that we could fly up on the door frame.
Yeah.
I
But
think
it
was
wasn't
around, beginning of this year, I think.
Yeah, something close to that, yeah. And then
Okay.
before that,
no, the end of last year, actually, end of last year.
and then before that, that's like the most like recent trick is angler key skip, which is the one where we had to get the acorn and air climb to get on the thing. There's actually another method you can use, which I'm actually going to show off. which is why I made that
Is it
safety.
easier?
No, it's
harder. Okay.
It's
actually much more drawn out as well. Like,
yeah, it's very drawn out. If you fail the trick, it's like a 3-minute time loss, just because of what you have to do.
But if you don't fail it, is it worth it? Is it a swag strat?
I think Angler Key Skip 2 is nicer. Because we're showcasing Link just finding this invisible ladder and deciding to climb up this ladder, and
that was pretty good though.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Whatever you want to show off is cool with me.
Young lad, I mean thief, the hero. Just trying to see if there's any kind of then you thief came to the rescue the island. Did we though? I mean, I did kind of rob the shopkeep a couple of times. So we're gonna close that out. As much as I want to sit here and listen to the end of the game because it has a phenomenal ending track, we need to showcase these other glitches. So we made this very nice safety save here. And before we do anything, I need to go make a purchase. Because we need to have a Tracy Cream in order for this glitch to work. So previously in the run, we needed to purchase a Tracy Cream after Dungeon 2 to perform what we like to call a Fox Boost. Sorry, Ray. In order to perform a Fox Boost onto an out-of-bounds section of the overworld. And we actually had to use that Fox Boost twice in order to access 2 specific sections of the game. One of them being the Villa Skip, which the original Villa Skip, I'll walk over here and show you. The original Villa Skip actually took place after we cut all this grass. The original Villa Skip actually took place over here because there is a section of overworld where you can kind of jump up and get on top of, and we use that to get the slime key. Well, the Fox Boost with the Tracy Cream, you have to take a death abuse, which is why we need the Tracy Cream. And for some reason, when Link loses all of his hearts and he still has a hitbox, and so we take damage from a well-timed bomb and a jump, and it hits the fox, and we die from the jump, in the middle of the jump, and the fox pushes Link's body out of bounds, and we respawn, and we're suddenly on top of that collision, and we can walk and grab the key. And we're gonna do the same thing with we did the same thing with Dungeon 4 in order to skip the Angler Key. We had to take out Lanmola, and we did that with this particular fox. And I'm going to I'm sorry for those folks that are familiar with Sonic. If you listen closely to hitting the fox makes a very particular sound, and if you've played Sonic 3 and Knuckles or Sonic 3 and you've gone to the special stages, Blue Spear, whenever you grab the spears, it makes the same sound effect. And I've been getting nothing but dirty looks ever since I brought this up.
That's definitely unusual.
Mainly because Tej's partner, they play Sonic, they speedrun Sonic, and I brought that up, and then Amber just spent days just angry glaring at me. So if you listen to the fox here,
it sounds I forgot exactly just how similar it sounds to that sound effect.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that is the same sound. That is wild.
All right, so you may wonder, hey, how am I going to get this fox up this ladder? Well, Easy. We're gonna place a bomb here.
Oh no.
We didn't get enough height for the fox here. I'm gonna take out that.
So the fox is not programmed to attack whatever hit it. It is programmed to attack you when it gets hit, which makes sense. There you go. I think the jump's just a little late. It's been a long time since I've done this, but I think the jump is a little late. Yeah, I remember this being a large difficulty in the trick.
Oh, still got hit though.
It's okay. We need to get hit a couple times on the way.
Yeah.
I feel like it may be a little bit farther away from the ladder.
No, I think we need to be closer to the ladder.
Yeah, it's just an odd.
There we go.
There we go.
Nice.
We don't want that heart. So we take this fox with us. I'm throwing rocks at it, by the way.
Oh, the abuse.
I still remember the first time I ever commentated for Ice. He PB'd in the marathon run, and at one point in the run, he threw a rock at one of the kids in Mabe Village.
Intentional? Unintentional?
Yes. Intentional.
Oh no, on purpose. That's fine, by the way. You can hit the fox and it'll you can hit the fox like from the other side and it'll be fine. It'll jump up at you.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure. But yeah, this trick is if you fail the trick and you lose your Tracy potion, you have to auto load and you have to walk and bring the fox all the way back. Also, if you don't hit the fox for an extended period of time, the fox runs away.
But I mean,
I would too.
What actually is the Tracy cream?
So it instantly revives you when you lose all your health.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I just looked over at the how could you do this? I'm sorry, yeah, all right. Yeah, so yeah, it instantly revives you when you run out of health.
Okay, good to know.
We need to be mindful to avoid all health here.
Yeah, because when you're low on health, the game aggressively drops hearts. Like, okay, here we go.
So we have to perfectly line up this fox, and like the visual cue is like where the ear starts on the right side is lined up with Link's belt, which we're kind of like a little bit too. There we go. So we need this fox and Link to be pretty much like on the same tile, like literally on top of each other. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna die from a bomb explosion, and we're gonna jump at a very specific time, and we're gonna die. But as we're dying, the fox is still moving, and it pushes Link's body off the grid and onto like the collision. And the keyhole actually has a collision spot. It was too early. So now we have to, unfortunately, walk this back. Because you can't...
a little late, actually. I think it was a little late.
Yeah. So yeah, we can't... you can't just, like, make a save and, like, walk it. Reason being, the fox won't be there. So you have to walk this fox all the way back.
I would like to point out, by the way, that since this is after the run proper, this actually isn't real, and the fox isn't actually getting hurt. Just thought I'd point that out for reasons.
Thank you for clarifying for everyone.
I mean, you have to remember, this whole island is a dream.
That is true. No foxes are actually being harmed, everyone.
That is true. Oh.
So yeah, we're just gonna bring this fox back over there. Here, hold this for me, buddy. Thanks.
Yeah, so you can actually get like really creative with like how to actually move the fox. Like this is like, you know, as inhumane as this is, it was actually kind of interesting from a speedrun perspective, because of just like the multitude of ways you can actually like move the fox. Like you can like sort of like juggle hit the fox like as it's moving even.
I don't like that one.
Oh.
All right,
There
so
it is.
the fox just boosted us on top of the keyhole here. And now we're on top of the keyhole. And what we could do is just walk into the dungeon. So that used to be the intended method for the any percent route. To enter the dungeon.
I'm laughing at something in chat. Who figured this out originally and what were they doing?
And why?
And honestly, that's a good question. I think the original setup here was found by Tuval. I think it was Tuval that found it out with the villa skip, which is what caused. I'll remember this. Which like Tuval found this out with villa skip, which caused everybody to start looking into other ways to boost out of bounds and to access other dungeons, which involved somebody bringing the fox all the way to D4 and figuring that out. I don't think I'm really familiar with the bomb boost here, which is actually allowed in glitchless, because this isn't really a glitch. Oh yeah, this is still worth talking about though, for sure. Like this is.
I don't know if I remember the setup for it though. So there's a bomb boost that you can do, which in the original Link's Awakening you just kind of dash and jump, and you can just jump to the top part. Well, we could take. I don't know why did it go that way. Shout outs to the buzz blob that just like jumped and just fell into the pit.
They're smart.
No. No. I forget. Was it one tap or is it two for the boots?
It's either 2 1-frame taps or 1 2-frame tap. I think you're just a little bit past it. There it is. That's it right there. Oh, okay. Never mind.
No, it's not. Yeah.
I think you had it and then it was off by a little bit.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, you got it right there. Stand a little bit away from the wall. This is hard, by the way. This is hard. This is a glitchless exclusive trick.
Yeah,
actually, this doesn't get used in any other category.
So what we can do here is we use that bomb damage to boost us downward, and we are able to just kind of skip. So we essentially we go over here and we get. I'm gonna grab this just cause. Come back, Anti-Fairy. Thanks. We're gonna. So yeah, we grab one of the keys over here. I think it's just one, right? Is it one or two?
It's 2, I think. Because you need one for the cue ball fight as well.
Okay, yeah.
That was close.
Yeah.
I think the bomb was a little bit too far left.
But yeah, so the bomb boosts you, and you're able to just kind of land on the bottom section of there, and then you just dash across and jump up, which skips a very large portion of this dungeon in glitchless. Otherwise, we just kind of, as I demonstrated earlier, we just kind of float up here with a bomb and cheat that way.
So, Ice, you said you don't really bother with the glitchless category very much.
I haven't put up a run for it at all. Not that it's like it's not something that I want to do. It's just I haven't gotten around to like learning the movement tech that's involved with it because it's very it's very movement tech heavy.
A lot to memorize, I'm sure, more so than in the any percent.
Yeah, for sure. Trying to think of what other things we can show off. Let's see. No, we're not going through Eagles Tower again. There was a lot of like a good bit of things that were found, like just with the rooster that unfortunately doesn't have any use. But there's like sections you can do, like the air climb and get to like some fun places.
Oh, you can air climb to get into the raft maze.
Yeah, that's what I was actually. That's why I backed out of that. We need to go. I think I have to go through the cave, don't I? Or will this let me?
No, you're good. You're good.
You said we're headed towards some the raft maze. Is that what you said?
Yeah. This used to get done in 100%. I don't know if it still does. I haven't run 100% in a long time, but
fair.
I remember like the 2 times I ran 100%, this was done just to get in there.
It's just downwards, isn't it? No, I actually don't remember how to get to the raft maze.
I think you do it from the other ladder. Actually, I think you do it from the ladder in front of D7.
Is it that one?
I think so.
I thought we got like to the wall here to because couldn't you like walk on this wall here? I don't know.
I think you're thinking of Canelet. No, I remember just flying straight in. Yeah, try flying straight down from that one. I think that's the way. Whee!
Now we're in the raft maze.
Oh, this is quite a place.
Yeah, we're definitely not supposed to be here without the actual, raft.
Rafts, yeah.
Can't go swimming, I take it.
You actually can, but the rooster's just
you can go swimming.
Yeah, it's really funny,
I'm
actually. The current actually doesn't affect you when you're actually just swimming. It only affects you when you're on the raft.
By the way,
that's so funny.
we just kind of killed the rooster.
Oh, well, can we get F's in chat for the rooster, please?
It should come back eventually.
I think it does, yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. I actually don't know. It might not.
Oh, there's the rooster.
Hey.
Speed flying. All right. Oh, I wish I would have
Oh, you can't leave?
You're stuck here. Oh no. You swimming in the waterfall.
You thought we were leaving, but we were just kidding. I think if we the rooster can't even come back. Okay, so we're just gonna load a save here. Actually, let's we should be fine with the save file.
What else is there to show?
I wish I knew how to do the old method of getting early D6. without the hook shot. I don't know that method with the Armos and despawning the Armos.
Oh, yeah. That's like, I don't think anybody really knows how to do that too well.
That was a fun trick. Watching you learn that.
Yeah.
Fun TM.
Maybe the skew in D5 to get to the boss door. That's like the only thing I can really think of right now.
So I'm actually curious, Ice. How long would you say it took you to learn to speedrun this game?
A few weeks actually. Because like the way that the Switch is set up, and like when this game first came out, there wasn't really like a good way to like practice like tricks. Like it was just like you had to save and then walk back to the trick and all that. But yeah, I'd say probably about a few weeks. Like originally learning this game.
Would you say it's like a pretty beginner friendly, or you think you maybe had the advantage for, speedrunning other Zelda games?
I'd say probably that. I have a little bit of a little bit more of an advantage just because of like how familiar I am with the Zelda games. Any percent I would say is not really the most beginner friendly category. I would say if you were interested in learning this game, dive into the glitchless category. Get the movement down, and figure out like how things work in this game. And then move into like maybe like no Hinox warp, or you could just dive straight into 80%. But yeah, that would be my recommendation.
Yeah, that's sound advice. Thank you.
Yeah, like ultimately, I guess is learn whatever you want, really. But like at the same time, glitchless is a lot more forgiving. So just keeping that in mind is important. I guess if you want to like get into it, yeah, because like some of the glitches in this game are like don't get us wrong, like some of the glitches in this game are pretty like they can be frustrating to learn at first, but like the movement like minutia is still important, and that's something that glitchless does teach you. But yeah, ultimately it's down to personal preference. If you like glitches, learn any percent. If you don't, learn glitchless, but that's just something to keep in mind.
For sure, yeah.
In chat, I'm sorry, I don't know the D8 backdoor method because I unfortunately don't run that category.
I actually don't even know that either, because that's a no Hinox warp specific glitch, and I haven't run that either, like in a while.
Yeah, I'm sort of like an any percent exclusive runner.
I imagine it's like pretty tough to go back to a category like glitchless anyway, like if you're so used to doing the any percent route, because it feels maybe just a little bit slower and not quite as flashy.
I'm gonna do this, and I believe this is kind of be the last thing that we show off, just so we don't go over like time constraints or anything like that.
Yeah, for sure, whatever you're comfortable with.
Just gonna take your mask. I'm trying to get so the intended way of like fighting this boss in the glitches category. We count to get a piece of power spawn, which we saw in the water there earlier. But yeah, we do a count here to kind of get a piece of power to spawn, and I'm gonna try and kill enough enemies here to get another one of those. Which I think we're at, like, 16, I want to say.
I wish I could tell you. I can't even count in my own runs.
Do either of you have to keep notes or anything for this run, or you've got it pretty well memorized by now?
Pretty well memorized. There's not too much. Yeah,
It used to help to have like a counter to count kills, but like it's not really a thing we need to do anymore in 90%. It's more of a glitchless thing.
Okay.
But in this case, this is a glitchless exclusive glitch. Or wait, no, that doesn't make any sense. This is a glitchless exclusive trick. Not a glitch.
I was about to say,
Definitely not a glitch.
is that the terminology we want to go with here? All right, I think we should be good here. Maybe not. All right, well, either way. So this is called like we did in Dungeon 7. So we do a skew here. So we're gonna line up like right here. Need to be facing up a little bit more. That's not gonna work. So that right there allows us to skip the need of getting an extra key. And we're able to just kind of skip having to go through a good portion of the dungeon.
Nice.
That's not considered a glitch just because like skewing is just like kind of a natural way to move normally. And taking advantage of that like is more of a level design exploit rather than an actual glitch which exploits like the code or like the mechanics of the game itself. It's more just like a design exploit.
Yeah. So this is the worst boss fight in the game. IMO. Mainly because you have a 25% chance of where this boss is actually going to spawn. And then they factor in the boss can be a fake.
Yeah.
And if you pull that boss out, which we got, wow, incredibly nice pattern there. If you pull that boss out, you can tell by the eyes. If the eyes are like inverted, so where like the pupils are white and then the rest of the eye is black, that's the fake. If you pull,
so you can spot the fake.
Yeah, and if you pull that boss out of the wall, the boss actually, I think, blows up on you or explodes.
Something like that.
At least it did in like LADX in LA. So for beating this boss, we're gonna get rewarded with literally nothing because we already grabbed the instrument here.
Wow. Like thanks for watching. You get literally nothing.
Oh yeah, the
Nothing
dive
at all.
The dive clip is super quick. If you want to show that off.
Oh yeah. Which is, I believe, it's just going above it, correct? Or
yeah, it's just so if you go underwater and then like swim boost down, and then just like just straight down. I think you need to be a little bit above it first, a little bit above, and then just like there you go. Yeah, so you can actually just like swim and actually hit the trigger for the other side there, and then just climb back up, and then you're on the other side.
By the way,
we actually do that. We actually do that in 90%. If you
the rooster's hiding, by the way.
Yeah, if you don't get Mambo, nice. If you don't get Mambo, you do this to leave Dungeon 5 instead of just playing the Mambo out.
Just don't mind the rooster. Just peeking out of the rock there.
Very cautious rooster.
I wish I still remembered how to do the mermaid clip, which was like the very, very first like major glitch that we found. And it was that was like such a severe run killer. Like at that point in the game, because like you had to like walk. So like when Link lands on the barrier that like stops Link from like falling off of like a ledge here, you have to walk on like the outside of the ledge, and you would like to get, you can clip inside the mermaid statue here without needing the mermaid scale to open it. And we had to walk around the tree here upwards and then walk along this edge here and then walk down, and then we get to that corner down here at the bottom, and then you had to like kind of like angle yourself and walk into the mermaid statue, and you would just hit the staircase trigger. And that was how we would, you know, figure out the egg path before we found out about RNG manipulation.
Yeah, it actually wasn't even that much longer that we found RNG manipulation, or that we found out like how it works exactly. But yeah,
So is
honestly,
this
like,
Sorry, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say that would have been a huge run killer, like still probably even today, if that weren't a thing.
I guess I was wondering, like, is this a glitch that maybe you had in like a previous submission for the game? Like how, like, was it used enough times to get on the leaderboards at all?
Not really, no.
Yeah, no.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for the explanation at the very least.
But yeah,
no
I think
problem.
that pretty much covers like a good bit of the glitches, like that I at least remember how to do, because a lot of these glitches were like discovered in the in the early stages of this game, and like they were immediately obsolete.
Oh my gosh. That's
Also,
how it
yeah,
goes.
Glen's right. Sorry, it is in 100% early lens.
Okay,
Oh,
cool.
It is in 100%.
okay.
Yep.
Well, we appreciate you, racking your brain here at the end for some of these extra glitches, and I sincerely appreciate you being here, Ice and TGH. Do you want to give any final shout outs or comments before we end the show tonight?
Yeah, just a big shout outs to the Link's Awakening community, and you know, all the runners, all the glitch hunters who've made this run, you know, to what it is today. Big shout outs to like people who just like continuously push the times down to make it more competitive, and just them being just like a welcoming community. I've met like such a great amount of friends in that community. One just being TGH in general. He and I just became like really good friends, like with this game. And now I kind of lurk in his chat and, you know, say funny things, and yeah, all the fun stuff.
Now it's all foxes, memes, and friendship.
Yep.
Love it. Well, thank you again so much, Ice and TJs, for being here. I'll mention it again in chat. If you did enjoy the run, make sure you follow both our runner, Ice Blue, and commentary, TGH_SR here on Twitch. That is going to wrap it up for tonight's episode of That's Never Happened Before. If you are watching this on YouTube from the future, be sure to press the like button on this video and subscribe to the channel. If you're interested in watching our shows live, you can check us out at twitch.tv/gamesdonequick, starting weeknights at 7 p.m. Eastern and weekends at 1 p.m. Eastern. Next weekend, we will actually be having King of the Silent Hill, which will be a series of races featuring the Silent Hill series starting at 4 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. And we will also be having Captain Toad anniversary special starting at 1 p.m. Eastern on Sunday. Tomorrow is Awfully Silly starting at 7 p.m. Eastern, followed by That's Never Happened Before. Wait a minute. I think that might have been an earlier announcement because that already happened before. So you'll have to stay tuned for what's in store tomorrow. But I think that about covers it for tonight. I have been your host, Smooth Operative. Thank you so much for watching. Have a beautiful day or night, and we will see you next time. Goodbye.